Hello, Finland. My name is Tulla. I'm the CEO and co-founder at BetterDoctor. We help people find a good doctor. Did you know that half the people in the Bay Area are finding love online? It's pretty crazy. But at the same time, most people can't find a good doctor. Finding love should be harder in my mind than finding a doctor. Love is pretty unquantifiable after all. I moved to Bay Area in San Francisco about 5 years ago, and immediately we ended up in family medical issues and ended up seeing tens of different doctors. Pretty quickly we found that it's super hard, and after 3 years of struggle, I decided that I have to do something about it, and I founded a company together with my co-founder Tapio Tolvanen. Quickly we found out that we are not the only ones having this problem, but there are about 70 million other people in the US who are struggling every year to find a doctor. Why is this so hard? It should be pretty simple, you figure. There are 1 million doctors in the US in about 55 different specialties. When you go to a doctor, you need to find somebody who accepts your insurance plan. There are 1,500 different plans out there. If you go outside your network, you might pay $1,000. In the network, you pay about $30. And you don't have any quality information. The sites out there, they look like 1999 again. And they just don't work. We solved this problem at BetterDoctor, and we are building very simple apps that help you find doctors. We have the mobile and web apps that basically help you find a doctor with one click. And we are super excited to announce that we have helped 5 million people to find a doctor. Woo! It's awesome. We are also offering now a service for doctors who can come on and they can claim their profile, edit the information, add a photo, make it better for the users. And we already have about 5,000 doctors who have signed up. That's just in the last 4 months. Let me do a demo in the end. This is a brand new mobile app that nobody, well, few people saw it already, but not many people have seen yet. So I have a bit of a toothache coming, and I need to find a doctor for next week when I go home, and let's do that. So I go here, I find the right specialty, dentist, and then I click here to find a list of good doctors nearby where I live. We can go a bit closer. So I'm somewhere around here. And Jared, he looks like a pretty good doctor. He smiles. You know, when you pick a doctor, you want to have somebody with good teeth. It tells about them. So let's look at his profile. We can find out that he lives pretty close, like 2 blocks away where I am. He's a verified BetterDoctor, means that he has passed our screening. We look at the malpractice records, discipline records, education, experience. We quantify all that, and we also look at consumer reviews. And Jared, he has 163 reviews and about 4.5-star average. Pretty good. And we can also look at his bio, and he seems to be a good guy. He likes San Francisco Giants baseball. And he also went to the best university for dentists. And finally, what we can do, we can also go here, and we can see if he accepts my insurance plan. So we look at the Delta Dental, PPO, and he does. And finally, something new we haven't had before, we can also click here and look at the photos of the practice. It looks pretty awesome. So that's BetterDoctor. We help people find a good doctor. Thank you all.
Great stuff. Very basic question. How do you make the money?
We are doing leads for the doctors, and currently we are selling them premium profiles. What we do there, which is very unique, is that we only limit that to the doctors we have verified. So if you are not a good doctor in our books, or we don't know enough about you, you can't pay to be on the top of the list. We only let the good doctors who are verified to pay and be on the top.
So do you pay for finding users? Does it make financial sense to pay for them?
At the moment, we don't pay anything for users. So we are basing it mostly on the SEO. So we have built a big database of all the doctors. So the data we have is probably the best data out there. We spent about 2 years building the data already, and a lot of money on it.
So how did the 5 million find you?
they go to Google and they are looking for doctors with different keywords, and then they come to our site and they make a phone call, book an appointment.
I personally, I don't know because I'm not an expert, I think I will look for a doctor in a slightly different way that I will look for a date. Because it's not like I change doctors very often, right?
Well, what about girls?
My point want to be, if I find a doctor that I like, then I will not use your platform again. Right? So it is this one of those platforms where most users will use only once. Or why as a user I will come back and keep going changing doctors?
Good question. As a beginner, I said that there are 70 million people every year who look for a completely new doctor. Why? You move to another neighborhood, you change job, you will change your insurance plan, you have to find a new doctor. Something happens in your life, you get pregnant, something happens, you find diabetes. Then you need to find new doctors. So it's very, very common that you go and search for doctors, but even more common if you are getting, let's say, somebody telling your friend, you are looking for a new dentist. They are telling, hey, go look at Jared, and you go Google. You don't trust the person so much that you could call directly. You go online and learn more about the doctors. So nobody knows this, but it's pretty funny actually. The most common use cases for web in the US, number 1, email. Number 2 is Google. Number 3, looking for health information. It's way more popular than shopping online or reading news online.
That's an amazing statistic. But yeah, Riccardo is from Italy, so I guess you have a different view on doctors and girls. So fascinating. I used to live in the US, and there's this guy named President Obama that seems to need a lot of help finding a doctor program to sort out the healthcare system there. So if the doctor is paying for the advertising, how can I really trust that it's not just the guy that's paying the most money who's trying to get me rather than the absolute best doctor?
Well, my mandate on this is building a service for myself and my family. That was the early problem. And it's a completely independent service. As I said, no doctor who is not verified can ever be on the top.
So how much time and money do you have to spend to verify a doctor, and who pays for that?
That's a good question. We collect data, so we are a lot like Google, so we go look at 1,000 different sources, we compile it together, we clean unstructured data, make it structured again. We also have a team who manually goes through every doctor. So we spend quite a bit of time on building this database, and that's why it's unique.
How much have you spent so far to build that database?
On the data, we probably have spent about $2 million.
Okay. And so how much work is it to move into a new state? I saw you had sort of Delta Dental, which is a California program. What happens when you go to other states?
Delta Dental is a nationwide, it's the biggest dental network in every state, actually.
Okay. So this only works in the US, it doesn't work in Canada or any European?
I think we took the stance and we hope to save the US healthcare system first, and then we can come to Finland maybe next. It's a pretty big pile. I mean, the US system is huge.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.